everyone. We are so glad to be back. Season 3. It's hard to believe. We owe a huge thank you to Keep a Dayna Learning for their continued support and what we like to do, and most of all, connecting with educators. So we'll jump right in. I know a lot of you were probably sad to receive the news this summer, just like we were, that Flip is no longer. And so we immediately started a conversation thread about, oh my gosh, how are we going to pivot? What are we going to do now? Because you get so comfortable using a product. And let's just talk for a minute less about the product and more about the people behind Flip. I think we were so invested and connected to the people that worked for Flip and that supported educators that was probably the biggest bummer of it all. Less about being able to use the product and more about the relationships we had built with those people. So wearing the real vintage, like Dayna said, Flip Grid, the OG shirt. But let's talk about how to pivot. And before we get started, we kind of picked 6 tools that we thought would be really completely different tools to give you and your students some novel opportunities. I did want to say, I read recently that most of our older students are getting their information one of 2 ways, either TikTok or YouTube. And so that got me thinking, okay, so that's how our students are consuming information. So we have to have ways for our students to consume information because consumption is important, but also the creation piece is super important. Creation for us and creation opportunities for the students. So, and speaking their language, right? If they're going to videos to get their information, we need to speak their language. And it made me reflect on where I get my information. I have to say, I'm on YouTube finding information. I'm on Twitter and Instagram watching videos and reading posts and finding some of my best ideas on there. I mean, I'm not going to a textbook trying to find information. I'm not going to the library to check out an actual book to find that information. So I think when we can speak the students' language, we're really speaking our own language as well. So I think we will jump right in. Dayna, get us started about all of the creative ways you have used. I mean, we're back in school now. You're already using these tools and how you plan to use Book Creator.
I think you made a really good point as far as our growth mindset as teachers really needs to pivot and change, right? We need to think a little outside the box and not be set on the ways we've always done things. So if the best thing to do is say, okay, some tools that I've already used before, how can I change them to meet the needs of something that I've always enjoyed, like Flip? One of the tools that we've even brought to one of our streams before is Book Creator. And it's one that all 3 of us, I know, use quite a bit. And so we kind of started thinking, okay, how can we pivot and use Book Creator in this fashion? It's great for, obviously, to create books. And you can also translate those books into Spanish now. You can use your voice and record. But you can also use this camera tool. So what I like to do is create a book with a cover for my entire class. They're able to be all on the collaboration tool of that. And they can each take a page and design it to fit what we're talking about, which is the topic on the front of the cover, and then record their findings with the video button, because it's under camera, and then if you look to the right it says video, and you could use the video to record that information. Also, another way that I like to use Book Creator is if you have the premium option, which is really amazing. Go to a comic book, the comic book feature, and choose that kind of book that you want to make at the bottom of the screen. And then when you go to the page, choose the page type that has multiple boxes. And then each box is like a text box or a box that they can design in. And they can just go to a box when they're done reading a passage and go ahead and put a small video. They can type text. They can put a picture that goes with their video. And honestly, I do several pages of these boxes, and then they can do multiple little boxes with different facts that they gain. And they also see when someone else is using the text box when they're collaborating, so they can move on to a different, different box. And then when we're done, students can then go in and see all the facts that the entire class came up with, and also get to see them and the voice that they were able to use and share the knowledge that they had. So that's one way that we can also have that video tool. And then also something that Book Creator just came out with this summer, and I haven't got to use it yet, but they have lots of templates on there. But they also have this type of tool now. It's called a portfolio. And what's awesome about that is you can I'm pretty sure, and Karisa, you can jump in, you are literally putting in and using it as a time capsule, putting in your videos, your books, images, and then it can follow them through grades. Am I right? Is that what it is?
Students have like their own bookshelf that stays with them.
All right, that is awesome. I think that's another way that they can see their face. They can see what they had to say. So if they start talking on their portfolio in first grade, then they go to middle school, they can look back and see, oh my goodness, look at my little self, right? Really cool. Look how much I've grown. And then when they get to Elaine, they could be adding that really in-depth knowledge that they get, at the high school level, and just kind of look back and see how much they've grown. I think that's an amazing piece that Book Creators also added.
So I had to kind of make a decision as well, losing Flip. I really enjoyed using Flip as obviously in my classroom all the time, but as my introduction to the year. And with that gone, I thought, I kind of brainstormed. We talked about a lot of different options, and I actually picked a couple of these options to do this year, depending on the classes I have. My older kids in HBS do a lot with Canva. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to give it a whirl with some of these Canva things that we've never tinkered with. We have done the Canva whiteboarding is excellent if you're looking for something to replace Jamboard. Dayna has used it to create full slideshows using their AI feature. And then on the right-hand side, you can see I've used it for my kids have done a lot of incredible student work with it. So what I did this year to start this year, there where it says Elaine Townsend, I asked each one of my students to go into our shared slideshow, add a slide, tell me about yourself, put in a picture, give me some goals. But really and truly, the big thing I wanted to try out was how is their screencasting feature? And it is easy peasy. Click on it, add the video overlay. Similar to what is Book Creator, I can use this tool, I can use Book Creator. We can have an overlay that kids can learn about because I'm like Dayna, even though maybe I'm not talking about insect facts, my kids might have 5 parts of the whole and they have to teach each other the other parts. So Canva, guys, I think is a really good tool. You can get they've got a gazillion templates. You could get a great template where they just drop their little video in, or if you're having them use their little AI feature, the magic wand, they can build out images in Canva. And so note, if you've never tinkered with Canva using the video, it worked like a charm. And, my high school kids, I gave them no instructions. I was like, I need you to go find this and figure it out.
One thing that I really enjoy too is I've always used slides, even with my first graders. And most of the time, I'm not sure if other people do this, which I'm pretty sure they do, is I give each student a number in the classroom. And so I put that many slides in for the topic. And then each student goes to their number and designs something on that slide. But you guys showed me this part where you can actually go in and make a video. Mm-hmm. There's the video feature now, and I believe it's on the right of the toolbar at the top. And they can go on. I just did a background picture and then hit the video button, and then I could talk and tell everything I wanted to say about that topic. And I thought it'd be really great. You could put a vocabulary word for whatever topic you were working on each slide as well. And then they had to investigate that vocabulary word or that topic and then share it. And then they would be sharing it with their class with the video, but they could also add their creativity with their images that they select.
I love that.
The perk to this, I think, is that the video drops into their drive. So it makes it very easy for them to find. They don't have to go somewhere else.
I love that. And I love the collaboration piece, but I also love, I mean, you could easily go in, make this an assignment in Google Classroom. It pushes out a copy to everyone. And now they're working on their own private assignment. And, you know, especially as the kids get older, when they're younger, they really love to watch their videos and let the class watch their videos. But as they get older, they get a little bit private about what they want to record. And they're a little more hesitant to be on camera. And so I do love the piece with a lot of these tools where there can be some privacy and the students can submit just to you. So I love the flexibility with that. Elaine, tell the story really quickly that you just told us about the live captions and how it's going to help all students, in particular, one of your students.
Yeah, so Karisa showed me this summer that one of the things added to Google Slides, I think that historically this has been in Microsoft, that if you hit the three little dots when you're presenting, it gives you the option to catch live captions. So I can present a slideshow on my board. I can click live captions, and across the top, it's going to catch my voice as I talk. So as soon as I heard this year, for the second year, I have a beautiful young lady that has almost zero hearing. Very little. She's shy to say anything about it. She would never say, Miss Townsend, you know, can you say that again? So I've tried to be really conscientious to speak facing her. Well, I told her first day, I want to show you this. And I showed her how it works. And then I showed her, this is the most amazing part. She can do this herself. If she pulls up a slideshow that's even blank, and puts it on the whole screen like she's broadcasting it, turns on these captions across the top of hers, it will catch the teacher talking as well. And so she said, this is a game changer for her. So she's walking into chemistry and using it, and she's walking into English. It actually, because she and I were using it, it catches what you're saying very well. Especially those of us that, you know, speak pretty loud and clear. It's not putting in weird words like you get on TV sometimes. And so to me, a game changer for your students that have hearing issues, definitely.
And I just think, oh my gosh, as a person sitting at home watching TV, if I'm watching a show or a movie, I always have captioning on. There are so many times that I have a hard time understanding what someone's saying. And so I just think what's good for one person is good for everyone. So I love that feature as well. Elaine, I'm going to throw it back to you because you really dug in. You know, Padlet put out a message almost right away when Flip said that they were sunsetting, that, hey, we're working on this. We're going to have this built-in tool, and Elaine got right on it. So kind of tell us briefly how you're using this already in the classroom.
Yeah, I had used Padlet years ago and then kind of forgot about it. And then I had to be reminded, what's Padlet? So my first year biomed students, again, I'm looking for something at the start, because we just started, the start of the year, where they can introduce themselves to each other as a class. And so I thought, well, okay, well, I'll see how this Padlet feature works. So I got in. The limitation with Padlet is if you just have the free version, you only get 3 Padlets. That was fine for me because I only used it on 2 classes. If I decide I want to use it later on in my 2 classes again, I can delete out the old ones and use 2 more. But it was really easy to use. When you get, I told Dayna about it. On the teacher side, when you set it up, it looks like too hard for little people. But once you've set it up, it's actually very user-friendly for the kids. So what they did was I went and I created a Padlet. And I was prompted. I used a template, actually. I looked for an icebreaker template. And then you can easily change the questions you asked. So I simply asked them to take a selfie. My colleague that also teaches Project Lead the Way asked them to put in a video clip on this part. And she did, her Padlet was all on video, just like Flip did. So all the kids have to do is when they go in, you can see the one I made with the plus. the plus in the right-hand corner, they click on it, it prompts them, take a picture, answer these questions, submit. Bam, it's up there. And then they'll run in a scrolling run, all the kids submitted them. Something like this is great for me because if the kids are curious, they can learn about their classmates. If not, at least I have a picture with something about them to help me learn names. At the end, it generated, I could have put it into Google Classroom. It generated a link. I use Schoology. We've talked about that before. I put them in there. Kids have been turning them in on and off since the day that I put it up there. So I haven't checked them yet. That's kind of one of those things. I let them have about a week and then I can get on and check them. So I've been real happy with it. Once I got the hang of what the teacher part looked like, it was pretty easy peasy. For the kids, very, very simple.
I love it. Another product that we love is Adobe and anything Adobe. And this is just, a little bit different from the standard video with the standard, seeing the student on the screen. They get to pick their character and pick their background and pick the size. They're limited to 2 minutes when they use Animate with audio. So it really does bring in the preparation piece, the rehearsing piece, the redoing piece if something is filmed that they don't love, but it's just a little bit novel and different. Elaine, if we can, will you click the baseball just to show an example from Dayna's class? Because I think it's so cute to hear a first grader talk about Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it doesn't work, it's fine.
And you know what? I think every time I watch one of these, I laugh so hard. It just brings so much joy to me because it's just watching these little faces that are random characters talk. And it's just so funny.
Jackie Robinson was born on January 31st, 1919. Jackie Robinson started to play baseball in 1945. Jackie was the first American African to play in the major league. He died on October 24th, 1972.
So I'm listening to this and I'm thinking there was so much planning involved with her student having to learn the information and then be able to recite the information. Very few stumbles even over words for a first grader. So we have other examples here. Our slide deck will be shared in the comments section. But check it out. There's so many features of Adobe. We can never touch on them all. There's some links here that we've provided. We have a special with their newsletter that if you tune in and scan this QR code and sign up to receive their newsletter, which you will not regret it. They send all kinds of important and really cool information on projects and things they have going on. But if you sign up, someone tuning in will win a $25 Amazon gift card. So make sure you sign up for that. And then our last tool we want to talk about is Screencastify. And I know you've probably used Screencastify or heard of Screencastify, and it originated as just the screencasting tool, right? I used it a lot when we were home learning during COVID, where I would record myself talking and going over directions or recording the screen of a slideshow to, give more details on an assignment. But they've stepped up their game as well. They have a new feature called Submit, and we've linked some more information there for you to check it out. But they're trying to do their part too to give an option for students to submit videos based on an assignment that you post. And so it will talk to your learning management system. So it will talk to Schoology or Google Classroom, or you can just share a link and post it wherever you would post your information. But you can title it, you can give directions for the assignment, and then you can decide, do you want everyone to view the video? Do you want it to be private to you? And the students just submit the assignment. So it could be as simple as introduce yourself, tell me something about you, or it can be, we just read this, novel together, talk about the characterization. I mean, it can be more in depth. So I think I really recommend you checking this out. Everything I've read about it, I have not used it with teachers, but Elaine, you created your first one, right?
I did. Coming up here the next week, I want to do just a 60-second checkup, see where the kids are at. When I got on to do it, the prompting screen looks very similar to Flip. It looks very easy for me to see the videos. So I'm looking forward to see how it works, but it it looks to be true to what it says it is. Very easy to get it to talk to Schoology as well on that one. And then it had an option like that you could push it to Google Classroom. So this one, I'm hoping it works the way we want it to, but it looks very similar to using Flip.
Perfect. And one other thing I thought about was, teachers recording themselves for subplans, how hard it is to write everything out specifically, but how nice it would be to record a couple of videos that would not only help your students, but help the sub understand what really needs to get done in class. So this is going to be the end for today. Before I pass it over to Dayna, I wanted to take some time to congratulate her from Elaine and I. She was just named in the Indiana Teacher of the Year Top 10. So she has an interview coming up very soon. We are very proud of her. And just really honored to have her voice with us in YaySTEM because she brings so much to our rich discussion. So congratulations to Dayna. We can't wait to see what happens next. We're very proud of her. And I'm going to toss it to her so she can take us out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thanks for all the well wishes. Thanks for joining us. Next Tech is next. That's our next stream on September 9th. And I can't wait to learn more from them. They have such great ideas that they can share with us just on the local front. So that is awesome with computer science. And this is season 2. So these are our past episodes. If you want to visit any of those on YouTube, that is great. And we're always welcoming feedback. We would love to hear what you want to learn more about. We've got so many great people coming on with us this season, but we have spots to fill still, and we would like to have some more guests. So give us that feedback of who you want to hear from and things that you might want to learn about, because that helps us grow as educators. So thank you so much. And you know who we are. YaySTEM!
YaySTEM!